Om Shanti. Baba Sakar Murli, 17th of September 2021. Essence. Sweet children, be dead to the awareness of your bodies. That is, break off your love for old, impure bodies and have true love for the One Father. Question. What natural beauty do you children have at the confluence age? Answer. To remain constantly decorated with the jewels of knowledge is your natural beauty. The faces of those who remain decorated with the jewels of knowledge bloom like flowers in happiness. If there isn't happiness, there must definitely be some habit of body consciousness from which all other vices emerge. Song. The flame has ignited in the gathering for the moths. Om Shanti. The meaning of this song is unique. What is love created for? Brackets for dying. For whom is your love? For God, because you have to be dead to this world and go to Him. Have you ever loved anyone like this, that you would think of dying for that one? Would anyone then want to love? The meaning of this song is so wonderful. Moths love a flame. They circle around it and then die. You too have to shed your bodies when you come to the Father, that is, you shed your bodies in remembrance of the Father. If you have to die for someone you love, that one becomes like a great enemy. This is why people are afraid. They make donations, perform charity, go on pilgrimages, etc., in order to go to God. When a person is about to leave his body, people tell him to remember God. God is so famous. When He comes, He destroys the whole of the old world. You children know that you have come to this university in order to go from the old world to the new world. The old world is said to be an impure world, hell. The Father shows you the way to the new world. Simply remember me alone. I am Heavenly God the Father. Sons receive wealth, property, a home, etc. from their fathers, but daughters don't receive any inheritance. They are sent to another home, which means they are not heirs. That one is the Father of all souls. Everyone has to go to Him and die. The Father definitely comes at some point and takes everyone back home, because there are very few human beings in the new world. There are many people in the old world. In the new world, there are very few human beings, but there is a lot of happiness. In the old world, there are many human beings, and also a lot of sorrow. This is why they continue to call out. Bapu Gandhi, who was considered to be the father of India, also used to say, "O purifier, come." He just didn't know him. You understand that the purifier is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, and that He is the liberator of the world. It's not that everyone in the whole world believes in Rama and Sita. It is a mistake, brackets, to say that Rama, who belongs to Sita, is the purifier. The whole world considers the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, to be the liberator and the guide. He liberates you from sorrow. Okay, who is it that causes you sorrow? The Father cannot cause you sorrow because he is the purifier. He is the one who takes you to the pure world, the land of happiness. You are the spiritual children of that spiritual Father. As is the Father, so are the children. A worldly father has physical children. You children have to understand that you are souls, and that the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, has come to give you the inheritance. You should not forget that you are students. It remains in the children's intellects that Shiv Baba plays the Murli in Madhuban. He doesn't play a bamboo flute, brackets Murli. Krishna's dancing and playing the flute is all the path of devotion. You cannot say that Krishna plays the Murli. It is Shiv Baba who plays the Murli. Many good songwriters will come to you. Generally, it is men who write songs. You mustn't sing the songs of the path of devotion. You have to remember Shiv Baba alone, the Father says. Remember me, Alpha. Shiva is just a point. When businessmen write a 0, they say Shiv. They would add a 0 after 1 and it becomes 10. Then another point and it becomes 100. You also have to remember Shiv Baba. To the extent that you remember Shiv Baba, accordingly you become very wealthy for half the cycle. There are no poor people there. All remain happy. There is no name or trace of sorrow there. Your sins will be absolved by having remembrance of the Father, and you will become very wealthy. This is known as earning a true income from the true Father, and it is this that will go with you. All human beings go back empty-handed, whereas you have to go back with your hands full. Remember the Father and become pure. The Father has explained that when there is purity, there will also be peace and prosperity. You souls were pure at first, and you then became impure. Sannyasis are said to be semi-pure. You have full renunciation. You know how much happiness they have. They have a little happiness, and then there is just sorrow. All of that is the path of devotion. On the path of devotion, when they worship Hanuman, they have a vision of him. There are so many gatherings for Goddess Chandika, brackets cremator goddess. There would be an image of her too. Whoever they think of, that one will definitely appear in front of them. However, what would they attain from that? Many types of gatherings take place because they earn their livelihood from them. All of that is their business. They say that all business is worth nothing except the business of changing an ordinary human into Narayan. But scarcely anyone does this business. After belonging to the Father, you have to give everything to the Father, including your bodies, because you know that you want new bodies. The Father says, you can go to the land of Krishna, but only when you souls become Satopratan from Tamopratan. No one in the land of Krishna will call out, make us pure. Here, all human beings call out, "O Liberator, come, liberate us from this world of sinful souls." You now know that the Father has come to take you back home with him. It is good to go there. People want peace, but they don't know what peace is. No one can stay without performing actions. Peace is in the land of peace. You then definitely have to adopt bodies and perform actions. In the Golden Age, you remain peaceful even while performing actions. People experience sorrow when there is peacelessness, and this is why they ask for peace. You children now know that the land of peace is your home. In the Golden Age you have peace, happiness, and everything else. Now, do you want all of that, or just peace? You experience sorrow here, and this is why you call out to the Purifier Father to come here. People perform devotion in order to attain God. Devotion is at first unadulterated, and it then becomes adulterated. Look what they do in adulterated devotion. Look how clearly it is shown in the ladder. However, you first have to prove who God is. Who makes Sri Krishna as he is? Who was he in his previous birth? You have to be very tactful when you explain this. The heart witnesses those who do good service. Those who study well at university will definitely go ahead. It is number-wise. Some are even dull heads. Souls say to Shiv Baba, "Open the lock on my intellect." The Father says, "I have come to open the lock on your intellect, but your actions are such that the lock doesn't open. So what can Baba do? You have committed many sins. What could Baba do about that? If you tell your teacher that you are not studying, what could the teacher do? A teacher would not have special mercy. He might perhaps give you extra time, and you are not forbidden that. There are many exhibition sets not in use. Therefore, sit and practice. On the path of devotion, some tell you to turn the beads of a rosary, and others tell you to chant a mantra. Here, the Father gives you his own introduction. You must only remember the Father from whom you received the inheritance. In the Golden Age, you will have already received your inheritance from the Father from beyond the world, and so there is no need to remember him. You receive your inheritance for 21 births. Therefore, claim your full inheritance from the Father. The Father says, "Never indulge in vice. If you develop even the slightest taste for vice, it will increase. When someone smokes a cigarette once, he is coloured by that company, and it then becomes difficult to break that habit. They make so many excuses. You mustn't start any habits, and you must stop all bad habits." The Father says, "Renounce the awareness of your bodies while alive and remember me." Deities are always offered pure food as porg. You too have to eat pure food. You children now have to remain as cheerful as a flower. When a girl finds her husband, her face begins to bloom. When she puts on beautiful jewellery and good clothes, she begins to sparkle. You now wear the decoration of knowledge. In the Golden Age, you have natural beauty. Krishna is also called Sundar, brackets beautiful. The king, queen, princes and princesses are all beautiful. Even nature there is Sadhu-pradhan. No one here can create natural beauty like that of Lakshmi and Narayan. No one can see them with these eyes. Yes, you have visions, but no one can create an identical image through those visions. Yes, if an artist has a vision and he sits and paints at that very moment, it might be possible, but it would be difficult. Therefore, you children should have a lot of intoxication that Baba has now come to take you back. You receive your inheritance of heaven from Baba. Our 84 births have now come to an end. When your intellects have such thoughts, you will experience happiness. You should not have the slightest thought of vice. The Father says, lust is the greatest enemy. This is why Draupadi called out. The Father says, listen to me alone and relate this Srimad of mine to others. Father shows son, and son shows father. Who is the Father? Father Shiva. Shiva and the saligrams are remembered. Follow everything that Shiv Baba tells you. Follow the Father. This is his praise. The Father says, sweet children, follow me and become pure. It is only by following me that you will become the masters of heaven. When you follow your worldly fathers, you come down the ladder for 63 births. You now have to follow the Father from beyond this world and climb up. You have to go back with the Father. The Father says, every jewel is worth hundreds of thousands of rupees. The Father explains to you every day, sweetest children, first of all, give everyone the introduction of the two fathers. Worldly fathers give you an inheritance to become impure, whereas the Father from beyond this world gives you the inheritance of becoming pure. There is so much difference. The Father from beyond now says, become pure. Those who indulge in vice are called impure. Your mission is to show impure people the way to become pure. The Father from beyond also now tells you to become pure. Since destruction is just ahead of you, what should you do? You should definitely follow the directions of the Father from beyond. At the exhibition, ask them to write this promise. Will you follow the Father from beyond? Will you stop being impure? You should write, only the Father guarantees this. You too can guarantee this. Why do you become impure so that you then have to call out for the purifier to come? Everything depends on purity. Every day you children should continue to be happy that the Father is giving you your inheritance of heaven. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bap-Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. Essence for dana. 1. Don't start any bad, dirty habits. Renounce the awareness of your body while alive. Remain as cheerful as a flower. 2. Follow the Father from beyond this world and become pure. Make a promise to follow his Srimat and inspire others to do the same. Blessing. May you be a constantly powerful soul who makes the atmosphere pure with your elevated attitude. Those who remain constantly stable in their elevated attitude cannot be shaken by any atmosphere or vibration. An atmosphere is created through your attitude. If your attitude is elevated, the atmosphere will become pure. Some say, "What could I do because the atmosphere was like that, and because of that atmosphere my attitude was disturbed?" At that time, instead of being a powerful soul, you become a weak soul. Therefore, make your attitude powerful with the awareness of your promise, and you will become powerful. Slogan. To become an embodiment of virtues, and to make everyone an embodiment of virtues, is to be a great donor. Om Shanti.